5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, yes, live from Harlem in New York, it's the Ramble with me, Alex Bennett. We'll be here till midnight Eastern Daylight Time. Ladies and gentlemen, out to California, out to Larry Bubbles Brown, our favorite guest that we have on the program. We love having you,
beloved
Larry. Beloved icon in his comedy career, which has hit new highs recently, hasn't it, Larry?
Yes. The oldest man doing comedy, so I've hit new highs.
We also have an album out.
Yeah, that came out this week, so...
Yep.
You know me, I don't like to self-promote, but...
Well, go ahead, self-promote. Come on. Let me teach you how to do it. What you do is I ask you about, what do you think about the presidential race? And you say, well, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But speaking of that, my album just came out this week.
Yeah, that's all they do. I'd rather talk about the presidential race. I thought Bernie Sanders, they took him out like the CIA got JFK in Dallas. That was...
Well, you know whose career I kind of feel I don't feel sad about, because he's had a very good career, but Bobby Slayton told me, "Hey, I just did a Curb Your Enthusiasm." It's Larry David's show.
Yeah, it's great.
Then I went, wow, that's terrific. He says, yeah, I had quite a few lines. I said, oh, well, good. You know, it's terrific. I'll be waiting for it. So I'm waiting. Every week I'm looking at him, waiting for it. This week, first scene, there's Bobby Slayton playing a guy named Carl. And I'm really happy for him. And then they all go out to lunch, and Carl's with them, and he's got a big scene about being all depressed about his team not winning. You know, and then that's it for Bobby on that show. Only about 10 minutes later, or maybe 5 minutes later, they kill the character off.
Well, there goes the recurring part.
And I'm thinking, you know, Bobby probably he was probably thinking, you know, if I do really well, maybe he'll ask me back. And then he finds out his character dies.
So he wasn't playing himself. That was too bad.
Mm-mm. No, he's playing Carl. So when you think your career is going bad, just remember you weren't killed off by Larry David, okay?
How did he get killed?
He committed suicide because his team didn't win.
That actually sounds funny.
Well, it's very funny unless you were hoping maybe you'd be asked back. You know, I mean, there are characters on the show who have actors who have actually died and they haven't killed them off. Albert Brooks's brother, Bob Einstein, was on the show, and he played a character.
Which was one of the funniest ones, too.
Yeah, and I mean, he was on it quite a bit, playing this character. I can't remember the name now, the character. And so they've suddenly said, well, he moved to the Himalayas to study religion. That was how they wrote him out of it. But they didn't kill him.
They didn't even kill him.
They didn't kill him. Yeah.
So Slayton, how did he commit suicide in this? I got to see it.
No, they didn't show him committing suicide. The wife just goes, oh, he committed suicide. You know,
because his team lost.
Yeah. And he described his wife just before he committed suicide as having a magical vagina. So that becomes a part of the story. They're at the funeral, and he's with the woman. And, you know, It was a very funny episode, but I went, oh, poor Bobby, you can't cut him a break. Give him a character comes back maybe next season or something like that, But no, and he's a golfing partner too.
So it could have been I just worked with Jack Gallagher the other night, and I think he plays his doctor, doesn't he?
Yeah, occasionally. I think that was a couple of seasons ago. I don't think he's been on since then.
But they haven't killed Jack off.
No, they haven't killed Jack off at all. And don't say Jack off because I might not get I might not get monetized for this episode. Jack Gallagher, we always love to talk about Jack Gallagher as being the most interesting failure of all time. They gave him a show on ABC. They love him so much they take out in TV Guide, which was then the big periodical of the times. You had to have your TV Guide every week to look at what was going on. Was there anything on tonight? And they need to look through the guide, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took out 2 pages, 2 full pages, went across full 2 pages of an ad for the Jack Gallagher show. Premiering Monday, Jack Gallagher show. I don't know what the name of the show was. I can't remember it now.
I think it was called Jack.
It might have been called Jack. Right. And we were so happy for Jack Gallagher because Gallagher's the nicest guy in the world, and he's one of those kind of guys you go, good for him, Nobody gets jealous of Jack when he's successful.
No, everybody loves him.
Everybody loves the guy, okay?
Which is rare for a comic.
So he goes and he's getting ready for the big night. The day before, Sunday, he gets a call. We just had a change in, I think, the head of programming at ABC. They've decided not to run your show.
Yeah.
It's been canceled. What? I mean, come on. You got these ads in TV Guide for crying out loud, and you're canceling this. You couldn't even run it just for giggles? No,
wow.
The new program director said that wasn't under her watch, and she didn't like it. So they canceled it. Imagine that. I mean, I asked Jack once, I said, at any point during this process, did you want to blow your brains out? And he said, nah, I just said that's television. And that was the last big break he got, actually, when it came to television. He went up to Sacramento and did a daily show or something up in Sacramento.
Still there.
Is he still doing it?
No, but he's done a ton of one-man shows that are really good.
Yeah, I mean, he brilliant comedian, too, I have to say that. I mean, I always remember when people talked about Jack, I went, that's one funny guy. And you can see how funny he is if you go back and watch him on Curb Your Enthusiasm. What?
I remember when you were doing Comedy Tonight on KQED, Jack, I thought you introduced him, and that might have been the strongest set I've ever seen on TV. He just blew the room apart.
I don't remember it. Because I did, 5 seasons of that, maybe 4 seasons,
at least
4 or 5 seasons, and it was a good show. But we had 3 comics on each episode.
Yeah, 3 comics on each show.
And so that meant that if we did, how many shows did we do? I'm trying to remember how many shows we did. I think we did like 10 shows or something. So we went through 30 comics a season. So I can't remember all the comics that were on. Were you on it?
I was on the verge again, and then I think the show was over by the time.
Yeah, and I got replaced by Whoopi Goldberg.
You got replaced by Whoopi. Yeah, you went through a ton of comics. I'm sure you had Kevin Meaney.
Yeah.
Susan Healy.
Yeah, Bob Goldthwait.
Yeah.
I remember who was that terrible ventriloquist. I hate him. Just hate him. Has the grouchy guy as his puppet.
Oh, Jeff Dunham?
Jeff Dunham. Oh, God.
Well, he's huge.
Well, I love telling the story about how we're having our picture taken together by, remember the midget who used to take pictures for Bill Graham Presents?
I have his picture. I can't remember his name. Yeah,
I think his name was Randy or something like that.
Run over.
Yeah. He got run over?
Yeah,
There's a joke there, don't you?
Yes, but I'm not going to go there.
Not going to go there? Can't blame him. They couldn't see him. Anyway, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Anyway, nice guy. He was always there taking pictures, and he was taking our picture, and Dunham looks over at me and says, and it's me on one side, then Dunham's puppet in the middle, and then Dunham on the other side. And Dunham looks over at me and says, I understand you don't like prop comics. Which was true, actually. Except for Bruce Baum. Bruce Baum was the greatest prop comic of all time. And I said, no, it's ventriloquist I can't stand. And Dunham doesn't react, but his puppet turns his head and bares his teeth at me. Ventriloquists are crazy.
They do seem to be a little off. Remember Otto and George?
Well, Otto and George was the dirtiest ventriloquist act in history. Yeah. They were just filthy. And it was also a scroungy-looking puppet. It was just, or dummy. And I always like to tell the story Slayton told about how he was working with a comic in, the South somewhere, and they were staying at one of these comedy condos. What they would do is rather than put people up in hotels, the clubs would rent out a condo.
Because they're cheap.
Because then they could just put them in the condo, right? Not have to pay for a hotel. So he is bunking with this ventriloquist. He didn't say, I can't remember who it was at the time. And he was bunking with him. And he comes home one day, and the guy is sitting there with his ventriloquist watching like Wheel of Fortune and talking to each other about what the answer might be on Wheel of Fortune. And Slayton said he just couldn't stand it. And he just said, stop it now.
I would have gotten out of there.
Yeah. I mean, ventriloquists are weird because they don't have their own personality. Everything they have that's personality, they vent through the dummy. And so their whole personality is in this dummy. This dummy can say all the things they wouldn't say, and whatever. So they're a weird bunch, as witnessed by Anthony Hopkins in Magic. So, or years ago, Eric von Stroheim did a thing called The Great Gabbo, which was a movie about a ventriloquist who murders people and whatever. And at the end, the dummy murders him. I remember that as a kid. It scared the crap out of me.
There have been quite a few movies about ventriloquists, and they're never flattering.
No, they're not, because ventriloquist dummies are scary. Every one they make is scary. Why is it they all look Irish?
They all look Irish, and they have the weird eyes and the weird mouth, and they're creepy.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with ventriloquists? Of course you have, I'm sure.
You know what? I haven't.
Really?
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. But you've worked with prop comics.
Oh, sure.
You don't want to follow them.
You never want to follow a prop comic or someone with a guitar.
That's right. That's what we've always said. And that's why you've remained a middle act all your life. You should probably start billing yourself as America's premier middle act.
The world's oldest middle act.
Yeah, the world's oldest middle act. You've never minded being a middle act, have you?
No, because I'm lazy and it's a comfortable spot. So
it is a comfortable spot. You have headlined, however.
I have, but you have to really do. There's a lot of pressure.
The pressure's on. Yeah, absolutely.
I can barely remember 30 minutes anymore.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But any gigs coming up that people might want to know about?
No, just the album came out, and I'm taking a month off, so that's it.
That was your excuse for taking a month off?
Yes, I'm exhausted.
Did you hear anything about Durst lately? Because every now and then I write Debbie, and she writes back and says he's getting better. He moved a finger.
I'm going
today.
to visit him this week.
Are you really? Oh, I'm so jealous. Please give him my best, will you?
Oh, sure.
I think of him constantly. Is he finally seeing people?
He's seeing people. She told me he's getting a little more feeling, so sounds better, yeah.
Well, next time you talk to me, report back here as to how he's doing.
Yeah, it'd be great if he could do a short phoner with you, too.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's up to that yet, but I'm just hoping that he recovers soon, because we love him, and he's terrific, and whatever. Anyway, hey, thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Alex. I'm glad you got through everything, and I'll see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Bubbles Brown.
Still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
That was recorded, believe it or not, before the coronavirus hit its stride, and so that's why we didn't talk about it. We talked about it last week because the interview I did with him last week I ran almost day and date because we were all able to talk about what's been going on and so on. If you were used to turning this thing on the last couple of nights and seeing a commercial before we start, I've quit monetizing the show. To hell with YouTube. I'm tired of fighting with them. I may monetize it sometime after the fact if they don't say they won't monetize me, but that's only on playbacks. And also because I don't like the commercials, some of the commercials they're putting on before me. I was informed by our dear friend, oh boy, my mind's just a blank. Anyway, our dear friend, hold on a second, folks. I'll find out who I'm trying to talk about here. See, I mean, this is what my problem is. I'm losing it now. I'm starting to lose it, folks. It's going with Tommy Yamaguchi. I didn't even have to look it up. Once I started looking it up, I remembered Tommy Yamaguchi, who told me that they were advertising what do you call it? A newspaper, which is a right-wing publication and is of questionable veracity, shall we say. And yet it's okay for them to put that advertisement on, but it's not okay for my program to be offered to some advertisers because we're talking about the coronavirus, and they don't like us talking about the coronavirus. Anyway, the lines are open. If you haven't looked yet, see, it's green. Okay, it's green. You see, it's green. Your light is lit up and it's green, and I'm ready to go. Oh, man. The allergy season is upon us. There was a whole thing today. There was a list of things, and I had them on television today about if you've got this, it's allergies, and if you've got this, it's the coronavirus. And the one component, I guess, that they said always happen with coronaviruses, but never happens with allergies is a temperature. So anyway, let's see here. Are you there? Let me see here.
I am.
Is that you, Jeff?
Yeah, that's me, Jeff.
Turn on your camera.
Oh,
You don't have your camera on.
what's going on?
I don't know. You don't have your camera on. No. See, if I were to do this, I could show everybody. His camera isn't on. See that? So.
Weird. I'm going to reset.
Yeah, I guess.
What happened?
Who knows?
You
right
think
down,
that's one
right
o'clock?
down there. See, folks, when you see that Skype logo, it means that we're not getting his picture. So, anyway, let me hang up on you. Call me back again. Okay, give it a try again. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Also, there's something wrong here. Hold on. Wait a minute. This is weird. This is strange. Are you there still, Jeff?
I can talk, but
Yeah, yeah.
nothing
What's
else.
happening is nothing else is. Oh man, my Skype is frozen up. Okay, I'm gonna have to hang up, and you'll have to call me back. Oh, okay. Okay, let me quit that. Let me see here. I'm trying to quit Skype. Quit Skype. There we go. Now let me turn Skype back on again. And let's see what happens. Okay. Now, okay. Well, here comes Charlie Wallace. There we go. Hello, Charlie. There's
Hi, Alex.
there's something definitely that was wrong with our with our Skype, so I had to restart it again. So, Jeff, if you'll recall, and Mark is calling. Oh boy, I got so many people here. I've got Rob Alfano is calling. Okay, Phil Meyer is calling. Okay, all right. All of you people, just hold on while I start putting everybody up in various places. Okay. First of all, we've got Phil, we got Charlie, we got that's where Jeff goes. Let's see here. Let me see here. Then we go to Rob Alfano. Okay, and then in the fifth place we put Mark. Hello, Mark. Good to see you.
How are you?
Hold on a second. Here comes Jeff. Let me see here. Let me see. First, let me see. Mark Koshark. That's a new one on us. Okay, there's Mark. Is there anybody else? Oh, and it's Ray, who I don't have in here. Hold on a second, Ray, and we'll find you because you'll be Goomba, whatever. There we are. Goomba 61. There we go. And ladies and gentlemen, there's our citizen panel so far. Wow, you guys just all gang banged up on me. That was fun.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yes, yeah. So anyway, how are you all tonight? How are you all feeling? I feel. Take the mask off, okay? It's one of the versions. Is that the N95?
Yeah. They said if you had pink eye, that was one of the
Phil, I don't want any more of those of your rumors about what's happening.
This is a legit thing.
They pink eye does not necessarily mean. I had pink eye a couple of weeks ago, but it was bacteriological and not viral. And what they're talking about is viral pink eye, not the bacteriological. And so people will think all of a sudden, because they listen to Phil, that if you've got conjunctivitis or pink eye, that
they start listening to me. I
don't want. Listen, the president does a good enough job of getting people to eat pills that will kill them. So don't you add to it, okay?
Did you read the article about one of the markers that the people in the assisted living home, many of them had pink eye, conjunctivitis?
Yes, I read it, and it said it was viral, but not the bacterial kind, and there are two kinds of pink eye.
It's close enough. That's why
I had it. I had pink eye, and I'm still alive. 2 weeks ago, I went to my doctor, and I had the pink eye, if you may remember, and it was bacteriological and not viral, okay? Because he gave me a medicine that made the bacteriological version go away. So now what you're doing is you're saying this to people and say, I got pink eye, I probably have the virus, I better run off to the hospital. So, yeah. Phil, maybe you should keep that mask on and we can't hear what you have to say.
All right. So you're a lousy straight man, You're supposed to help people be funnier. But
no. Only when they're comedians. You're not a comedian.
Yeah. Well, you get what you pay for.
Yes, and it was nice to have Bubbles on. Anyway, hello, Mark. How are you?
Oh, I think you and I have both had some fun. Yes.
Yeah. What's going on in your neck of the woods? which is Florida.
The fact that I got New Yorkers coming down here still, and they're not being checked.
Yeah.
Gee, I'd like to see what's going to happen with that.
You know, what I don't like, though, is this insinuation that we as New Yorkers are infested. You know, that we are some kind of terrible infestation that you have to watch out, and we better not be coming to your town anytime soon. Yeah. The reason why, to begin with, there are a couple of reasons why we have so many people up here with the virus. Number one, we're doing more testing than anybody in the country. So therefore, the more testing you do, the more cases of it you're going to find, okay? That's for starters. The second thing is we have a very dense population here. And by dense, I don't mean Phil Meyer dense. I mean, we have a very dense population here, and the density of that population causes us to get, have something like a flu just really work itself out there. So, plus, I mean, like right now it's allergy season too. I can't imagine how many people are getting allergies and thinking they've come down with the virus. So that's not good either. So I just want to say to everybody, check out what's an allergy and what's a virus. And if you think there's something wrong, call your doctor. Your doctor will be more than happy to talk to you and say how he feels about what you might or might not have and whether you should get yourself off to a hospital. So that's the way you should handle it. Tony, I put him up and then he disappeared. Okay, where'd he go? Okay,
Scared him off.
There we go. There we go. Wow, there we almost a full panel there that we have. Anyway. So what I'm saying is, Mark, so down in your area, you've got a very stupid mayor there in Miami.
About in Miami.
Huh? Miami is Suarez.
No, not Suarez. Excuse me. I'm talking about the governor who didn't close those beaches and let those kids go down there and,
Is it the governor that would have closed it or the mayor?
I think it was the governor because it was Fort Lauderdale and it was Miami, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Clearwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so stupid. And everyone's going, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And now those kids are going to go back home after giving each other the thing and go back and see grandma and kill her. Wonderful. And as one of the older generation that has a gun pointed to my head with this thing, I think they're selfish little fucks. And I can say that now because I'm not trying to monetize this show. Yeah. So have you, do you know anybody down there who's gotten it at all, Mark?
Nope.
Yeah. I know I have two people in my life now who've gotten it or think they had it. One is Ronnie, oddly enough, but she seems to be on the other side of it, even though she has respiratory problems. And then I have this friend Steve Weiner, who did it, has it, thinks he has it. His doctor says it sounds like you have it, but unless you're feeling really crappy, why not? Don't do anything about it yet. Okay, so he seems to be on the mend supposedly. So I will hope that he survives. But so everybody knows somebody or is beginning to know somebody. How about anybody else know somebody here who has it?
Yeah, I found out about two kids
who
are in Massachusetts who are sick.
Wow. Do you know them?
No, but I know they're friends.
Yeah.
Of our,
Yeah. But nobody else, huh?
Oh yeah, no, my sister's assistant principal.
Yeah.
Her husband is in the hospital 10 days on a what you call the respirator.
Wow.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I think he's like 42.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing. They say they were saying today, the governor was saying that if you're usually on a respirator anywhere from 10 to 20 days, if you go over 20 days, you're probably not going to survive. You know, because that's an indication that whatever they're doing is not saving your life. You know,
Actor sniffle. Which one of you guys sniffled?
I'm telling you, I'm paranoid. I don't want to go outside anymore.
yeah. Well, you know, you got to be careful with your mother for crying out
I know.
loud.
I can't. I'm telling you, I am.
There goes the
I do
gravy
not-
train.
There goes the
I
gravy
know,
train.
Can
Exactly.
you imagine I get on unemployment for this?
Yeah.
I don't even let her out of the house. I let her in the yard. That's it. But I'm worried about myself. I don't get to know anybody. I went to put my number in bread. I go in the morning and I go bang in and out. I don't even go near anyone. As soon as I leave the store, I take the Purell out and I put it on my hands. I even put it on my fucking face. I'm going home.
Well,
Excuse me.
what I do is you don't really need the Purell. You can use just hot water and soap for
I
20
can't find
seconds.
a mask yet around here.
Well,
I'm gonna have to-
masks are hard to come by. Yeah.
I can't find them.
I bet I know where Phil got his. You probably have those at work, right?
My girlfriend got it at CVS. She got a 2-pack.
Oh, did they have them actually there in stock?
Well, she got it last night.
Yeah, because we got 2 pair from somebody in my wife's office, and then we got another 2 pair from my super, who says he had a whole bunch of them down in the basement because he gives it to his workmen when they're like, sanding an apartment and painting it and things like that. So because by law they have to make them wear these things.
This is not the work one because it says it's a Medline, so Medline. So that must mean it's a medical mask.
N95 is an N95, no matter.
But this one's certified for medical.
It can say anything it wants to say. If it's an N95, it meets up to a certain specification.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
Prior to that, wasn't the
We got our first bottle of Purell today.
You got Purell?
Where did you get it?
Was it Target or was it Walgreens? One of them had it. Our neighbors called us immediately and said, I got it online. I'm going to go pick it up now. By the time we got online, they were out of it. So she gave us a bottle.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can't buy ammo. It's sold out everywhere, even online in other states. Everywhere there's been a run on ammunition.
Oh, that's
they got protected toilet paper and Purell.
Yeah. I went to Amazon. We were in a second, Shirley, and I went to Amazon looking for some Bounty paper towels, and they're out of them.
Yeah.
Because we like the ones that are half size rather than full size. When you rip them, and all we can get are the big size, and they're smaller rolls. But I found online it looked like Amazon was gouging on some stuff. Yes.
I put dogs.
It's not Amazon. It's some of the vendors.
Yeah.
What did
and
I
they're
say?
going after those people.
Yep.
If you report it, Amazon is going after those people.
Because let me see here. Toilet paper. Let me see.
I got a lot of toilet paper.
Paper. Okay. Toilet paper. Okay. Well, here you can get 4-ply toilet paper. Kate Wolf silk in. Well, no.
That's great because you could split it in half.
No, you just don't have to use as many. You don't have to wrap it over.
You
as
get double the toilet paper. Just split it in half and use only the 2-ply at a time.
But it's $12.99. It's $12.99 for 6 rolls. For 3 rolls of this other paper here, which is 3-ply, it's $7.99. But where did I see that really high price?
Is it the organic stuff that they sell at Whole Foods?
What?
The toilet? They sell organic toilet paper.
New Silky Smooth Soft Professional Series Premium 4-ply toilet paper. Home and kitchen toilet tissue, soft and strong, and it's $10. Maybe I should order some.
A friend of mine sent me a photo of a store, a food store that was selling toilet paper, and it said one package $75, 90.50.
Yeah. Listen.
They're hoarding.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where are we? Tony, if you can hear me, would you please mute your mic when you leave, because you were suppressing some other people. Yes, Charlene. Now we'll get to Charlene. Yes.
Oh, one of the first things I wanted to say was you mentioned the respirator thing. Alex, don't you go into a coma after you've been on it for a long time or something?
Well, it's certainly not. It's certainly not considered good to be on them. They said, but he said if you go on them for 30 days, as an example, this is according to the governor, that you're pretty much not going to survive. Usually, it should start working within 10 days to 20 days, is what Cuomo was saying today. He said, but we can't suddenly say, oh, hey, when somebody's through using their respirator, because it sometimes is 30 days. It's not like it's you're on the respirator for a couple of days and then somebody else gets to use it. So.
And I didn't go out of the house at all today. Mm-hmm. I've started cleaning, and my hands are starting to get dishpan, and my one hand is from cleaning. I don't know why I'm just cleaning everything, but why don't they give a reward for like days that you don't go anywhere and you behave yourself and you stay in? Because
then I should probably get I probably should get a gold medal for me, because I haven't been out in 9 days now.
You want to laugh, Alex? Listen to this.
What?
We had to call the plumber over because under the sink I had the pipe was leaking. Mm-hmm. So we had the plumber. We had the regular plumber come, who always comes to the house. He came with his helper, right? So I had my mother all the way. As soon as the plumber came in, I let him come up the stairs. I had my mother in the front of the house, so he went into the kitchen. And it's almost like he knew I was social distancing, and I'm not even making a joke about it. As soon as he left, I cleaned the doorknobs.
Oh, absolutely. The kitchen
floor. Absolutely. I was cleaning everything like a psych. You would think like the Nazis just came in the house. I think this is insanity. He was fixing it in the kitchen, and I'm in the living room with her. And I was like, "Can I go?" I said, "Yeah, just let yourself out."
With her, ladies and gentlemen, let me translate. In Queen's speak, that is her. What he just said.
Yeah, so, I mean, I said, "Mom, don't." I was afraid because when he came in, it's like, "Oh God, we got strangers in the house." You don't know if he's carrying it. I mean, you get that. It's almost like.
By the way, I just want to check this out with your Queen's accent. Pronounce the word WHORE. WHORE.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's whore.
Oh. He actually pronounces it right. I've heard in New York. I've heard who said that?
Yeah,
who did that? Hoover. I've heard Hoover.
I never heard the V, but we used to say it when I was a kid. We used to go, "Oh, the Who is over there."
Yeah. The Hoover.
No, I heard out here in Jersey, companies are saying the guy will come in with a mask. He'll come in a hazmat suit, and they already wear booties. Some of them, and they'll distance themselves. I heard a commercial for people that come to the house.
Yeah. Let me see. Hog Rider is with us. Kevin has joined us. Let me see here. Oh, come on, come up.
How long do you think this is going to last, Alex? You think this is going to go down?
Huh?
Full house.
How long do you think we're going to be living like this?
Hold on a second. I've got to somehow get him in here, and I didn't get him in here right. No, cancel.
15 days to slow.
Different screen.
What?
I'm looking at the.
Just don't do that. Okay, let me see here. There we go. Okay, we got him. Okay, there we go. There's a full house. What?
We're number one in something again in the world.
Italy and China.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that tonight. We now have had more cases in the United States than anybody.
Who says we don't lead the world in something?
Yeah, well, and here's how Trump will put it. We're now number one. That's the best we've ever been.
I don't want to be number one. I want to live.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out with this thing.
That's the best we've.
Scare me some more.
That's the
Scare
best
me
we've
some more.
ever
We're
been.
still going up the slope.
You know,
We have not peaked yet. We have not topped
we
off.
we beat China at something.
But I'm ready to go back to church on Easter Sunday.
Fill
up the.
Yeah, didn't you love that when he said he was going to go to church on Easter Sunday? Since when, Donald? Since when?
I'm Catholic and I'm going to go.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
Well, you know what bothered me about that, where he said, wouldn't it be great if we all got everybody back to work on Easter Sunday? Well, to begin with, it's a Sunday, so nobody's going to go to work anyway. And secondly, what about us Jews? Wouldn't Passover be a great idea?
Jews
He forgot Passover.
on Saturdays. The Orthodox Jews work on Sunday. They just don't work on Saturdays.
Yeah. Well,
All the good electronic stores are closed.
Right.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Saturdays, yeah.
Well, I had a problem with my my Apple Watch. It seemed that it was using up too much power, and I don't know why. It seems to be okay now, because I've gone about a half a day with it. In fact, let me charge it up while I'm sitting.
What do you say, like, Scotty, I need more power?
Yeah. So,
Alex, I heard that they're going to open the Apple stores or something.
Really?
Yeah.
No one's gonna go
I
in.
heard them say, they said they're going to open somehow.
Selective stores.
Well, but what's their excuse for opening them?
How to sell watches.
But I mean, what is their thinking? They don't get the virus, but everybody else does.
How are they allowed to if everybody else is closed?
Yeah.
They got geniuses.
Well, 10 iPhones equals one dead person. You didn't.
I can buy the watch,
it's
but
just
I'm not going to be
crap.
live long enough to pay it off.
Yeah, but the U.S. has just surpassed China, and China's in pretty good shape now. They're not having.
You believe China's statistics?
Yes.
I knew he was going to say that.
I can tell you, my brother deals with Chinese factories, and they're all back to work.
It's flat.
They're on the way down.
They were shut down.
The way you can tell
quickly.
they're not lying to you,
See,
Phil, is if they're letting.
We did not shut down quickly.
Maybe that's
we
why
got the
Apple's
Mexicans
opening.
now.
Shut them down.
Well,
Phil, don't you want to be number one?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be number one?
Number one.
Number one.
I want to be number
and
one.
Italy, if they get a few more cases, they'll beat out China too.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm waiting for Amazon to sell ventilators. The respirators. That'll be a big Christmas gift.
Well,
What do you want for Christmas?
Costco, you have to buy two of them, and they're taped together. You know,
They have all of these houses that they give away in Italy for $1 or €1, because their population is a lot older and people aren't moving to these cities. So they're trying to attract people through giving away these empty houses.
do you know that if you're Italian, you're Italian, aren't you, Tony?
Oh, yeah, I'm an American Italian.
Yeah,
But
but
what do I
you're
get
no.
if
I'm saying
Italian?
you're an Italian. You can go to Italy and have automatic citizenship there.
Really?
Because you are.
I
Because
can too.
My grandmother was born
and
in...
you can be Italian just by blood from 2 generations, 3 generations back. They don't care. You can come there. You are allowed to buy homes there. You're allowed to live there if you want to, just because you're Italian.
I wonder what the cost of living is there.
Right now, about $1.50.
Dropping my flies.
Yeah. I mean,
But because they have an older population, they're at risk, and that's why they probably have as many deaths.
I think we're beginning to find, Phil, that this older population thing seems to be a little bit of a myth, because we're seeing a lot of young people die. I heard today about a doctor, I think maybe at Mount Sinai, who was like 34, who died from being exposed to it.
A 16-year-old girl in Santa Clara County who died.
I'm getting scared here. This is terrible.
What?
Alex, the doctors are very scared, and they're very, very scared. I saw a doctor on this morning, or a nurse. She quit the profession.
Wow.
They said it was on Good Morning America, so that she could stay home with her family. She totally quit.
Well, as I told you, I felt I really dodged the bullet, because I got my seed implants for the prostate cancer a couple of weeks ago, and I said to the woman, I said, and I told the story yesterday, if I gotten it right, we're going to do it now. Could we do it? And she said, well, we're capable of getting the operating room. We're capable of getting there with all the equipment. We can't get the radioactive seeds. Now, why? I didn't go further to ask her why.
In Russia.
But apparently they're not available,
Alex, what about your dental appointments? Are they all canceled?
I canceled I was going to get a implant, and
I got an email today. My dentist is closed. Every appointment canceled.
Yeah. So, I mean, my dentist says they're open if you have an emergency. They will take you. But otherwise, if it's something cosmetic or whatever, you're going to have to wait. Yes, Jeff?
I have my appointment with my cardiologist on Monday, and we're going to do the whole thing from my house on the computer.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do vitals? How do they do that?
Oh, they don't do vitals. They just talk.
Well,
I've actually heard that doctors have said, open your mouth and let me see your mouth.
Really?
Come on.
I'm getting my teeth cleaned over Skype.
Jeff does have the ability. He has other equipment that sends signals, right?
I have a pacemaker.
Yeah, my mother has that too.
For the pacemaker.
Well, our cleaning woman is going to be calling in and telling us what to do. So that's the new way of having your. We're paying our cleaning woman anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't want her taking the subway to get here.
I'm going to try to get that SBA loan so I can continue to pay my people, pay the rent, and stay open. Not open, but just keep people employed.
I'm glad to see that you've joined the ranks of socialism.
Well, hey, it's that's the deal.
Oh, that's the deal, Phil. Yeah, but it's socialism, Phil. It's socialism. Huh?
I'll tell you the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. I figured it this way. If I don't keep these people on salary and they start collecting unemployment, they may decide that they'd rather collect unemployment
than have anything to do with you.
Right. And then, when things open up again, I'm going to be the only guy standing there.
Yeah.
So,
me online, Eric. You see me online, right?
What?
Who's that?
Join his.
Hey, what, Jeremy? What? You quit yelling.
Sorry.
It's my son.
What was he saying?
Sorry. Huh?
What was he saying?
He's talking to his friend on some game. I don't know. It's like screaming at the top of his lungs.
My son does that too.
He's talking about Trump. I know. I hear him screaming that.
That's kind of interesting. That's an interesting question to ask. I mean, Ray, you've got a kid. How's your kid reacting to all of this?
Stressed out.
Is he stressed out because he can't go out and do stuff, or is it that he really, he's really worried about it?
He's worried.
Okay.
He tries to. He has all
How old
kinds
is he?
of explanation. 17, and the other one's 23. He seems to.
I'll tell you, man. When I was that age, I didn't have a frickin' care in the world. What a world we live in. What a difference.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
There was no terrorism, and there was no viruses, and the world was such a different place.
Yeah.
I miss those times.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like
No, there was stuff going on even when I was 17. There weren't they hijacking planes to Havana?
that
once
was-
in a while,
Yeah.
there was a plane going to Miami.
And you only hope so, because then you wind up in a country you didn't intend to go to and have a nice vacation. Charlene.
What I don't get, my son is 26 and he's always in there screaming on, his computer. He orders Grubhub and Uber Eats and all that every night.
Mm-hmm.
That's so unsanitary. I don't understand how, the guy came tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He had no mask, no gloves. My son goes over and I guess he has to sign for the credit card. Haven't they come up with a better idea than signing and all this? I mean, I don't get that. Like, why are
we
they still
ordered
delivering?
from Popeyes the other night, $30, but Popeyes, and the guy delivered. And when he came, stayed 6 feet away. He handed
guy
us.
was right on top of
He actually put the bag on the ground,
Then you had to go get it.
And then we gave him a little extra tip, and then we took the thing and immediately took it in the kitchen, took it out of the bag, all right, and threw the bag immediately into the garbage can, then washed off the top of each of the boxes, okay, and then we washed our hands, and then we ate. And that probably that way you're pretty safe, You just have to figure out ways of it's the new way of dealing with people. Yes, Ray, and
so then we ran out of money in our account, so I had to go out and drive Uber, and I did Uber Eats because I qualify.
Mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend not doing it because they have given us no training on cleanliness. I wear a mask and 94 masks. I wash my hands constantly. I do everything right. But you have no guarantee that the guy in your car is not sneezing on your food. Mark,
did I see your hand up at all?
Yeah. It's interesting because down here what they're doing is curbside. You order at the restaurant, you go and pick it up. Mm-hmm. And it seems to be working really well. And that also includes liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the same thing, but we still have the delivery.
Oh yeah, we got the usual. You got GitHub, Grubhub, whatever.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, I think this is what's going to save the restaurant industry down here.
I'm just telling you that they're not these people. I'm not trained in it.
What do you need to be trained in?
But what I'm saying is he
delivered pizza or whatever.
No, but what I'm trying to say is now that I think that drivers should have some sort of special training and gear and stuff.
Charlie,
you need to be trained to deliver food. Boy, our population's in trouble.
Charlie's got his hand up. Charlie,
I haven't had to deliver, but I've ordered and paid online, and then just gone and picked it up. I never had to sign anything. I never had to touch anybody or anything.
Yeah,
I have my own pen. When they give you the receipt and they hand you a pen, I'm not touching the pen that everyone's touched.
Yeah.
So I have my own so that I can sign the receipt. And some places don't make you sign it.
Listen, you can touch almost anything. Okay, let me put it this way. You can touch almost anything, and you're not going to get it just by touching it. It is, however, if you then, after using that pen, you immediately go to the sink and for 20 seconds, wash your hands with soap and water.
So I use my own pen, and I don't have to wash.
Well, you should wash anyway. I mean, Marjorie, when she goes down to the supermarket, she's gone down on a couple of occasions. I don't want to go because of my recent procedure, but I'd probably be okay. I'd probably be okay. But anyway, she goes down there. But as soon as she comes back, all her clothes go in the washing machine. She then gets in the shower and showers off completely. I mean, but as long as you don't touch your face, okay. Yeah. And the first thing you think about doing is going in and washing your hands. You're in pretty good shape. In fact, once again, it only takes 30 seconds. Let me run this little promo. Everybody be quiet because it's coming across on your. No, actually, it's coming across on a different thing. Anyway, listen.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this podcast.
I think that in a nutshell, it says everything you need to know about it. This is the best way to... Yes, Charlene.
I got a postcard from the CDC today in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to send it to every citizen of the United States. Did anybody else get it?
I got the card that's Trump's.
Here we go. Hold it. You got it there, Kevin?
Through the leadership of our president, Mr. Trump is just.
Is it purple?
The leadership is just. If you just follow the 50, we're on day 10, day 11.
of our 15 days to slow the spread.
Yeah.
If we just follow this, we will heal our land.
I've heard great things.
Yeah, great things. And
got a good feeling about
our
this.
land.
Yeah. He's going to kill us. You know that. He's gonna kill us.
My uncle was a doctor.
Trump's revenge. Everybody who didn't vote for him is going to be dying.
Oh man, I
saw a commercial tonight for Trump, like a presidential, like he's running commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alex, you're monetized with Trump all the time.
Well, not anymore.
No, okay.
I've decided why. Were they running Trump ads on the show? See, I mean, that's why
I've reason enough to end
I've
it,
stopped
Alex.
monetizing at least the live show.
I saw one. They were
He's
selling.
he's trying to do a poll to get a text. You got to send a text in or call in to get a poll on how he's handling the coronavirus.
Yeah, like he's going to give it a number.
Oh, really?
So, as soon as you do the poll, they ask you for money.
I think it's a trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
think if you call in, it's probably an automatic yes, or if you text that number, it's probably an automatic yes.
Well, I gave him money a couple times, and I'll give when I want to give, but I don't want to be forced into it just because I answer a poll. If you're going to ask me to poll, I'll do the poll.
Yeah. But I mean, I figure, we're, what we could use right now is some real leadership in this country, and we're not getting it.
Well, I noticed. Did you notice today in the press conference that Deborah Birx seemed to be backing off on all her numbers?
What numbers were those?
Well, the numbers that they're putting out there now, she seems to be backing off on how they've come up with the numbers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, she's saying, well, there's a different kind of formula, and now we're going to be refiguring how all these numbers have come up. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, whoa, wait a minute here. What do you mean there's a new formula? So it has to do with the fact that now there's more. It seemed to me that they were backing off on all the numbers they have been putting out, and ratios and how many predictions they're making are going to change now.
Well, you see, there's also a style of leadership that is sorely lacking that I see in Cuomo, for instance, when he holds his press conferences.
Absolutely.
What he does is somebody will ask him a question, like a medical question, and he will go, well, that's not my expertise. Let me talk to our doctor here who will answer it for you, because those kind of answers I like to defer to a medical person. And he's the first one to say, hey, this is what we know now. This portion is what my opinion is.
Exactly.
Of these things. And he makes it very clear. There's even a sign up on the side of the screen that goes, this is my opinion.
Exactly. Okay. I heard him say that. This is my opinion. This is not what what it is a fact. This is what I think.
Yeah. And, all I'm saying is at this time, this country needs true, vibrant leadership in something like this. This is where Trump could have shown. Instead, what does he do? He does a tweet today blaming the Democrats for using the coronavirus to ruin his election campaign. No, he's ruining his election campaign. I mean, yes, Jeff.
Did you ever notice that the president never uses the word corona?
What?
What word?
That he won't mention the word about what's causing the
coronavirus.
Disease.
Oh, corona.
Yeah, you mean the Chinese flu?
Yeah.
He's always going to blame. I'm waiting for him to say chink on the air.
He's not using that anymore.
He's going to do. He'll do it.
He stopped doing. There was a reason why he stopped doing it, though, right? He got a lot of flack for it.
He got a lot of flack for it, and you noticed that the last two conferences he had two Chinese people asking questions at the end of the conference,
mm-hmm.
and both of them had two-part questions,
mm-hmm.
and both of them got one part of the question in, and he walked out on the second part.
Oh, really? But he did use the opportunity to say how wonderful Chinese people are
exactly.
in America.
Today he did I love the Asians. I love the Asians. And when he went to go to his second part, he said, Have a nice day. I'm walking out.
That means he hates him. When he says he loves him, he can't stand him.
Yeah,
it's always.
And he did walk out before all his other people were still standing there. And then I guess Pence got up and said something, and then
yeah, he did that to the lady the other day too, and they were trying to get another part of the question out on him.
He has the attention span of a gnat. Yes, Jeff.
I cannot believe that nobody is ever willing to actually say anything about anybody who's making this equipment that we don't have. That there's nobody who manufactures stuff. They say, well, General GM is working on it. Well, where are they working on it? What, I got one guy working on it, 10,000 people? They're going to have the stuff done in 3 weeks? No information about anything being manufactured.
Really? Yeah.
I can't believe it. And the people on TV and all that, they don't seem to know anything either.
Yeah, they were saying they were talking about all these companies that have come forward and said they're willing to help and so on, and that's wonderful. Nice. But that still doesn't mean it's going to get done. You know. Yes, Ray.
Yeah. So Trump signed that mandate that allows him to tell companies they have to do it, but he won't enforce it.
Yeah. That's a defense. That's a defense bill, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
No, I didn't think he didn't sign it. He says he can, but he didn't.
Well, I mean, he just did like the first part. He didn't do the part where it actually makes it happen. You know,
it's that movie Airplane where when they get to a certain point in the movie where they want to flood the runway with light, and they say no, because that's just exactly what they'll be expecting us to do.
Yeah,
that's Trump's way of governing.
Yeah.
Surely that must be a mistake, and don't call me Shirley.
Right.
Yeah.
Shirley.
You know, I mean, I just think that in a situation like this, we really need some really definitive leadership, and I think that if he doesn't feel he's capable of doing it or of making it make sense to the public or whatever, because he talks in such garbled ways.
Useless.
Flush.
Huh? It is a royal flush, isn't it? Okay, well, I will then change it to a royal flush.
That's what I was going for.
What? Wait a minute, hold on a second.
I wanted to see that.
Here we go, royal flush. There we go.
One more, get a jackpot.
Well, yeah, the jackpot. We do have a jackpot ready and willing to go. I can't touch the Skype thing up here though, because if I do, watch what happens. See how all of a sudden, well, sometimes things don't work right, but it's a problem. Oh, wait a minute. I'll tell you something. We're starting to. Oh, okay. We're all right. Okay, we're fine. All right. I was noticing that we were kind of stopping there for a second, and then we weren't smooth, and
we lagged for a couple seconds.
Yeah. Now we're back.
Dyson vacuum cleaner guy. Mm-hmm. Dyson vacuum cleaner, the guy that makes the hand blowers and the airport and stuff like that.
He sucks.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. He's making 15,000 ventilators in the next 10 days.
Well, it shouldn't be volunteer. All these companies should be mandated to do it. They're all making tons of profits. We need it so that we can live.
They get paid for
life it. Is more important.
Well, I mean, certainly if they want to volunteer it, Ray, there's nothing wrong with them volunteering.
But it needs to be mandated by the government.
That law
we need it so that people will live.
Mm-hmm. That law was enacted during the Korean conflict, and Trump said that he didn't have to do it, that people were stepping up to the plate and doing it on their own.
No, he was hoping they would.
Well, they are.
Well, they're not enough.
Tesla called a number of companies.
No, not enough for doing it.
Yeah.
Now Dyson.
Charlene has her hand up. Yes.
Get a ventilator.
They mentioned this morning when I watched the news, they compared it to World War II. Didn't they do that in World War II? They made certain companies make things for the war effort or something.
Yeah.
And I said to my mother, we should get a copy of Mrs. Miniver and watch that, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a World War II movie?
Now, here's the thing. I heard about, who did I hear? Apple was donating 10,000 surgical masks.
10 million, Alex.
10 million? Is it 10 million? And I'm thinking, why do they have on stock 10 million masks?
I bet you they
are their phones
are
their phones that dirty?
No,
they're clean room operations.
Send me the mask, you cheap bastards.
What were you going to say, Mark?
It has to do with logistics, with displays. Why? Because there's certain things that they put up where they have to be wearing those masks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason. But
I'll use them in the clean room operations.
That too.
Yeah.
But Alex, here's something about these machines. It's not like they can just start making these things. They have to ramp up. They need to have parts for these things. They need to fabricate these things.
They have to change the machinery too, right?
If they all start making them today, we're not going to have enough. However, they have said, and I can't tell you how it's done or whatever, but they use certain machinery and anesthesiology in operating rooms, and they can convert those to ventilators. Now, it certainly isn't the stuff they put in my arm, but it may be something that they put over your face while you're being operated on. Yes, Kevin.
Plus, they have to be USP certified. They're not just made and then sent off. They have to be U.S. Pharmacopoeia certified.
Yeah. So, I don't know if we can get enough in time. I mean, New York, within the next, what did he say, maybe 30 days is going to need 30,000 ventilators, and right now we only have at hand something like 12,000.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
You know what this is exposed, really? I know this is something that's an anomaly, I guess you could say, but this is really exposed how ill-prepared we were as the #1 superpower country.
Yep.
Well,
we should have these flush.
To begin with, we knew that something was coming because for years we've had warnings of the day that a pandemic comes and what are we going to do about it and are we prepared for it? And we did.
Right? You had all this.
We did
2016 we were warned.
Yeah. 2016 we were warned. Okay.
It looks like we're run like a half-assed country, really.
Well, we
looks like it.
Republicans are in charge.
Remember they all said, Alex, we don't want universal health care. The hospitals aren't even ready for this. We're making beds in the Javits Center.
Yeah, well, that's good because if they have a convention there, you can also go to the convention while you're on your ventilator. Yes, Bree has his hand up, and then Charlene after him.
Well, speaking of countries that are handling it, Singapore has done a pretty good job, and in one of the press conferences recently, where Trump referred to Dr. Fauci and Deborah. So the woman doesn't get her doctorate there, but she said that Singapore had followed the president's advice because they were next door to China, so they knew from that.
Yeah,
it boggles my mind. I mean, she went out of her way to praise Trump in this press conference. It was so unbelievable. First of all, Singapore did not follow President Trump's idea. They had their own stuff. They're not next door to China. They're thousands of miles away. So that immediately vitiates any idea or notion that I would listen to this person for any advice, because they just make stuff up so that they can flatter the president.
Well, you know what?
That's not factual information. At what point do we call this?
You know what happened is all these guys at the press conference, they get up and they go, first, I'd like to say what a wonderful job the president is doing. They all seem like they're in great fear of losing their job unless they suck his dick, and I get a little tired of that. It's not genuine to begin with. It's like they're saying it because they don't want to get on his bad side.
Well, remember that whole thing when everybody ran around the table early on in his presidency, and they all just sat there and blew him?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how he is behind closed doors then?
Oh, yeah.
They must all just have to say how great he is.
Well, I think the reason he was such a terrible businessman is because he didn't know how to run a business, and he didn't know how to handle people. And I think that was his biggest problem because, if you think about it, he was only successful maybe up until about 1995, maybe a little later than that. And then from about the year 2000 to the present, he basically had no business. His only business was selling his name out to put on buildings. If it weren't for The Apprentice, he wouldn't even be president right now.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, who has there? Somebody has their hand up. Yes, Bree.
I've learned something in taking a leadership position recently.
Yeah.
And I also learned this back in my fraternity days. It's not a good idea to get rid of people that you disagree with. And it's definitely not a good idea to just try to replace people who you think are difficult. I've had many cases where people have been difficult or I disagree with them, and I thought, oh, just had them off my team, my life would be a lot better. Only later to realize that person had a key ingredient that was necessary later. Now, that's not always the case. There are some people who literally may be a doofus and you got to get rid of them. But 9 times out of 10, that's not true. And you got to keep people on your team who know what they're doing, even if they irk you sometimes, because that's how you're going to get through it.
Well, you want people around you. If you're a good businessman, you want people around you who are not going to be yes men, but are going to tell you what you need to know and not have a fear of expressing that. Because I know I always told people who work with me when I was doing shows and so on, like producers and so on, if I ever do anything wrong, don't feel free, please, to tell me, because I want people who've got my back that way, because I'm not on top of everything. And believe me, they were happy to tell me.
So you think you think he yells at the workers? I bet you I could see him yelling at people.
Oh,
absolutely.
Like in front of people.
Rob, hasn't he been known to have that kind of temper?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that many times, that he yells at his staff.
Yeah, and that it's got to be his way or the highway, basically.
I got a guy across the street who treats his maid like that.
Yeah. So anyway,
the stories when he gets out of the office, the stories that'll come out of that will be amazing.
Yeah,
you should all write books.
Quite frankly, when he's no longer president. By the way, did you hear what he said yesterday? Again, I hate to. Phil's being very quiet, which is unusual for Phil during this kind of discussion, because he doesn't seem to be defending Trump, and that's okay, Phil. We but he yesterday said that that they're gonna they're moving the Tokyo Olympics to 2021, provided it's over with by then. But 2021, and he said, and I plan to be there. In what capacity? That's the question. And are they going to invite you if you're not president anymore? So you're kind of like already figuring that you're going to be there for another 4 years.
He's going to light the torch.
That's another thing, Alex. If you've noticed during this presidency, Obama doesn't say anything. Could you imagine Trump not saying anything after he's out of office? No way.
Obama, I think, said one thing about Donald Trump in all this time, and it was because of something Trump had said about him or accused him of, and he just wanted to defend it. But he's been very quiet, because it's usually the tradition of ex-presidents not to make comments
not to criticize
the current president, because
that's going out the window. Whoever's next, expect it from Trump.
Trump's going to have a comment every day. Yeah,
yep.
No question about it. I mean, would you disagree with that, Phil? If he was no longer president, he'd still be doing tweets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tweets at 1 o'clock in the morning. I see the tweet come. I follow him on Twitter. He's tweeting in caps at midnight.
I'm wondering.
Who does he sleep?
Oh my God!
He's midnight. You think he'd be in bed sleeping? He's having Twitter wars with people.
Well, no, I wonder if he writes all of them.
I was going to ask you. You think he does that, or somebody doing
it? Yes, Rob. You know that to be a fact?
He's got somebody awake at 2 o'clock in the morning tweeting for him.
I mean, I had my phone on the table and I hear it go off. I said, "He's up again, this guy."
What were you saying, Phil? Phil, what were you saying?
He's not using spell check, so I would imagine if he had somebody tweet for him, everything would be properly spelled.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he just said, "Go out and find me a moron like me who can write these tweets for me, so people will believe it's me." You know, I just made a joke. You go, I'll laugh now.
Oh, that was funny.
Thanks, Phil. Your chance.
Maybe Barron does it.
Your chance to get even. Mark, you live in really what is Republican country down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are people feeling about the way the president is handling this that you know?
I'm just more concerned about my family and myself. Okay, so I've had some health issues. I really don't give a shit. I just want to come out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I concentrate too much on anything else like that, it's just going to get me upset.
Yeah.
I just try to live my life day to day like everyone else, Alex. I don't give a shit about, if it impedes my life in any way, yeah, I'm going to be concerned. But right now, social distancing, yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah. Well,
have been.
I've always
at least
been
till Easter Sunday.
Until Easter Sunday. After Easter Sunday, go out, do whatever you want to do. Tongue kiss girlfriends.
A miracle is coming.
My mother's like, he's insane.
Huh?
Oh, I like this social distancing. I'm okay with it.
Well, I've always been socially distant, so it's no
saving money on mouthwash.
Yeah. You weren't you were antisocial.
You know what sucked the other day, though, is I had my mask on, and I realized I had really bad breath.
It's feeding back. Huh?
When you wear glasses, they fog up.
Yeah.
I need a mask. I got to get one when I go to the market.
Just had to blow my nose, and I didn't want to.
I don't wear a mask unless I'm sick.
It's infected. Get him.
Well, you know what I noticed? Jeff, and he doesn't have to do it, but when he was coughing earlier, he coughed like into his. And I thought that was very considerate of you, Jeff, in spite of the fact that we are all socially distant from each other right now.
Right.
That's because he already had snot in his hand, and so he switched to his elbow.
Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah. Everybody who lives around here are all seniors.
Yeah.
And they're all walking around today because it was a nice day. But they always separate each other when they come close.
Yeah.
You go on the other side of the street or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you.
And you're trying to keep 8 feet away from everybody.
What I noticed today, and it was like, this is Thursday. It was noon. And I listened outside, and it was dead quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the video you put up, Alex. There was not many cars on the street.
Yeah, I kept out there for about 3 hours so people could look at it. Basically, it was cars more than anything else. What happened to Charlene?
I'm sorry.
Oh, God, you're making me dizzy now. But it's really quiet, and New York, the city that never sleeps. I'm sorry, we're snoozing. It's quiet out there.
You are so lucky.
When it's noisy, do you use a white noise machine or something to kind of drown it out?
No, because the noise of New York is white noise in and of itself. It's a noise you get used to.
Yeah. Sirens.
Which reminds me, what kind of noise annoys an oyster?
Noisy oyster.
A noisy noise annoys an oyster. Yeah, okay, anyway. How many times have I told that, Charlie?
A rip shot.
At least 5 times.
I got
at least 5 times. Well, 5 times that you've heard it.
I got a joke.
Yeah.
Guy goes in to see the doctor and says, "Doctor, is it safe for me to go to the grocery store nowadays?" Doctor says, "Just wear a mask and gloves. You'll be fine." Comes back. Doctor says, "You follow my advice?" I did, but everybody else was wearing clothes.
Good.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one. Maybe tomorrow night what we should do is on the show, everybody has to come armed with a joke. You know, not about coronavirus. It's not a very funny
No,
thing.
it's not.
Alex?
Yes.
I could bring my
I was
puppet.
thinking,
Have and tell
you know,
jokes.
Monty Python,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like the meaning of life.
Yeah.
That was kind of like not funny, really. And then remember, what movie is that one? Bring Out Your Dead. Bring Out Your Dead.
Well,
that was like about the plague, right?
No, that was in one of the Monty Python pictures.
Yeah, Life of
Yeah.
Brian.
Life of Brian.
Yeah, I was
Do you
thinking of
remember
that.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood? They had a song, and in the song they had an announcer, British boy. "If your grandmother should die while seeking shelter, remember to place her outside, but place a tag on her so she can later be identified." Something like that. It's in Two Worlds Go to War.
Oh, and nobody mentioned God Save the Queen. Prince William got sick somehow, and the Queen is nervous, right?
Prince, not
Prince
William.
Charles.
Prince Charles. Is it
Whatever.
Prince Charles, yeah.
Is it Prince
I'm not
Charles?
up on my royal.
Prince
sorry.
Charles got it.
Yeah.
The old,
God Save the
old
Queen.
Diana's husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diana's husband.
Yeah.
Wow.
He got it.
Hey, you know,
Camilla, what's her name? Camilla?
That's
Parker
his
Bowles.
wife.
Yeah, that's the new wife.
Any good movies? You know, anything on TV that's worth watching?
Has anybody
I'd
seen
watch
this
the
program on the Netflix program Tiger?
I was just going to say that, Rob.
I
Sorry.
didn't see it.
Wow.
I was watching it. That's
Tigers?
intense.
What's it called? Tiger?
Oh, I forget too.
Oh shit! I gotta Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
This is a
watching.
wacky show.
I've been watching a show called Devs, that's on FX, which is terrific. And then I'm binging 4 seasons of The Expanse, because some people have told me it's terrific, and I've watched 2 seasons of it, and it's okay. But at least it's,
Tiger King is the name of the program.
it gets better even after the 2 seasons.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? Okay.
Where's The Expanse? What network?
It was
Netflix.
right now it's on Amazon. No, it's on Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's just on Amazon.
Yeah, because Amazon picked up the 4th season they produced. So I'm getting through it, and I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm waiting for it to really blow me away, but it hasn't yet. But so many people have recommended it to me that I figured, what the hell? I may as well. You know.
I've been binging Hazel. Did you ever see that show? The Hazel
in the 60s.
With Shirley Booth.
Yeah, Hazel.
I'm kidding. I'm not.
Oh yeah, right. See, that sounds like a show. That sounds like a show Jack Bishop would like. You know. He seems to like all those doofus shows that existed back then, like Perry Mason. I could not stand Perry Mason.
That's my favorite TV show of all time. Perry Mason.
Really? Yeah.
Lost in Space, the reboot.
Yeah.
Any good?
On Netflix.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
I watched one episode of that. I didn't get into it. I love the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Devs is a pretty good show. I'm enjoying it. And what else? And then Marjorie will watch anything she can binge. I mean, every time I go in, she's watching some show. Berlin Babylon, good show. If you get a chance on Netflix, you know.
Electric Sheep on Amazon.
Real on Amazon? Electric Sheep?
Yeah.
The Robot's Dream of Electric Sheep.
Well, no, that was that was what's his name wrote
Blade
that.
Runner.
Philip K. Dick. Yeah. Blade Runner. Yeah.
That was the original title of the book, or the short story that was.
Yeah, well, this
made
is in that
Blade
same
Runner.
kind of thing, but it's not Blade Runner, but it's.
Anyway, hey, listen, there's a theme, and it's all over for tonight. It's all over. Well, I hope we're all here tomorrow night. Certainly, this has been a royal flush tonight. We almost hit a jackpot, but we didn't. But Phil, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. You too, Charlie Wallace and Jeff Zeller and Rob Alfano. And I'm trying to see who's wait a minute, who's there? I can't. Let me look here. Oh, Mark, of course. And thank you, Mark. I couldn't see it. It's a little dark. Ray, thank you.
Bree.
And thank you, Tony. And thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Bree. And thank you, Charlene. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. But thanks so much for calling me and making me look good. Hey, everybody, give a big wave goodbye, okay? And we'll wave back at you. And everybody else out there watching, wave as well. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. Here we go. There we go. Let me see. Let me hang up on all these people here unceremoniously so we can get the Skype lines ready for Jack Bishop, who's going to be next with The Intersection right here where we do this program from GabNet. It's called The Intersection, and he'll be taking your calls too, so stick around. In the meantime, I'm Alex Bennett. That's it. That's all she wrote. See you tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.